What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got my NAS server shut down for some cleaning, and I'm taking a look at a 2-in-1 duster from a company called Pergear, and it does a lot of blowing and sucking all in one. Alright, so jokes aside, let's take a look at this product and see what all comes inside and how it may be a good tool for you if you're trying to clean out something like this here NAS server. Alright, so real quick, I didn't want this to be a complete just unboxing video. I just wanted to take a look at the product real fast with you guys because I want to see the cleaning power that it has to offer. So let's open this up and take a look. Alright, so inside here it looks like almost like a hairdryer type thing where we attach the attachments to. Okay, so we'll get that off to the side. Next thing here is, well, another attachment. Yeah, it looks like that can only really go one way here. And see if we can get that attached to the unit itself. There we go. That was pretty simple. Hopefully I did that right. And then we got some other accessories in here. Looks like another piece that might go on the back. Yes, looks like it would actually attach here on the back side. If I can put that in correctly. Whoops. I don't know. All right, well, we'll figure that out in a second here. I'm just gonna get all the attachments out, see what everything that it comes with. Looks like a replacement filter. Looked like there was there is a filter inside there already, if you can see that on the camera. So they give you a clean replacement, which is nice. I'm not sure yet if these are washable. Possibly. That would be really nice. You could just run some water over it, get it nice and cleaned up, get that out of the way. This looks to be a kind of vacuum style attachment. Actually, it looks like, yeah, there we go. So if you want to maybe clean off your desk there, you got an easy way of doing so. Very nice. Let's see what else we got here. A few more. There's a duster attachment, which I'm particularly interested in this one because it's got some bristle tips on the end for doing like dusting inside a computer or possibly even a keyboard. This does feel pretty soft, although I probably wouldn't ever use this on something like acrylic. Glass might be okay because it's going to be a little more durable. And what else we got here? Okay, another attachment. So it looks like this would be for a vacuum style attachment where maybe that comes off and this goes on. Looks pretty simple. I literally don't know what I'm doing. I haven't looked at the instructions here, but oh, I didn't quite have that on right. There we go. Now we got it on and we can do some dusting. Yes, and extend that part so that way we can brush along what we're dusting, etc., and then suck it up through the vacuum side of the unit. And there's one other thing underneath the plastic here. Oh, that is, let's see. Okay. This looks to be like something you'd use for inflating. It's got different nozzle ends to it, so that's kind of nice, like an air mattress or something of that nature where you would need to blow it up quickly and not run yourself out of air by doing it manually with your own lungs. So that's nice. That's actually pretty handy. I wasn't expecting that type of attachment. That's pretty cool. Then obviously your charging cord, which we have here is a USB type A end and looks to be a type C end there. So that's cool. Let's see where that actually, okay, yeah, so the USB-C end actually plugs in on the unit side and the A plugs into any type of type A charger block, though they did not provide that though. So something like an iPhone charger block would probably work. Anything pretty much accepts this, or maybe you could even possibly plug it into a USB port on your computer to charge it up if you would keep something like this near your computer, which I intend to do because I would like for this to be a product that I keep around in the studio to do some quick cleanups on PCs, etc., without having to just blow dust around, which is why I'm interested also in the vacuuming aspect, so that way I can do some quick cleanups and not have to worry about kicking up dust around everywhere. Anyway, so that looks to be it. So we've got all the attachments kind of laid out here. Got the nozzle pump again, another bristle. I want to see how this actually attaches on the back because it looked like I was not doing something correctly. Okay, let's see here. Maybe, yeah, there we go. Just push a little harder. So there's the dusting end, dusting business end. And then I guess if you would, be using that end, you probably want less impeding airflow. So probably pull your vacuuming end off so that way the back side of the actual unit can breathe a lot better, and then you got a lot of high power to it. Let's see, can we turn this on real fast? I'm pushing the fan. There's two buttons on the back side here. We've got, it might be a little hard to see, a light button, which that turns on that light right there, and then a fan button. Oh, okay. Just had to hold it down. So that's on, looks to be speed 1, 2, 3. Wow, that sucker actually is very powerful. It was actually blowing around my curtains right next to me. So feeling pretty good about the power that this thing can push to a PC that we want to maybe blow the dust and junk out of. So let's get to that and see how it will do with the NAS server. Alrighty guys, so I got the few accessories I think I'll be using with the Blower-Vac thing here. This one will go on the vacuum side, so I want to see if I can vacuum out a lot of the dust without kicking it all over the studio. Obviously still want to kind of test that too, so I've got the kind of the blower side with the bristles to get into stuff if I really need to just crank the dust out of the crevices that are packed inside the server, as well as this is kind of like the main duster attachment that has no bristles attached to it. So actually I wonder if that, no, probably want to put that in. I was just curious if you could actually extend that. So as you guys can see, the NAS server is a little on the dirty side. We've got a lot of dust caked up right here on the side, so let's just pry the inside of this open and take a look. It's been a little while. Actually, that dust filter actually did a pretty good job of catching a lot of the dust. Most of it looks like it's kind of like caked on the outside. So let's see how well the vacuum side of things will work. And actually, I'll just go ahead and put the panel back on. Let's get the vacuum side of things put in here. And here we go. Well, that seemed to pick the dust up pretty good right off the side of the filter there. A lot of it was caked on with the filter, so this attachment definitely helped clean that up pretty well and kind of just break up with the bristles and then suck it up. So not bad at all. I'd say that's pretty good. It's not perfect, honestly, but it's a lot better than it was. And I know with this server too, we end up getting a lot of dust here in the crevice of the drives, as you guys can see right up in here. It definitely gets pretty caked on and dusty in the very small areas of airflow that it actually can pull through the front of this case. So another good spot, I think we could use the bristle attachment and suck up some of that junk. So let's see how well it does that. That is looking pretty fresh and clean, I'd have to say so. That almost looks as if there was nothing there to begin with. Okay, so let's get in the meat and potatoes of the dusting here. We do have a fair amount caught up on the sides and the dust filters, which for the NAS server is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's see how bad it looks inside here. Honestly, not too bad. Probably stuff that's pretty difficult to pick up on camera. I do have some areas like in the fans that are pretty caked up with dust. This is actually the only intake area, and that's, as you can see, where a lot of the dust, yeah, that's actually pretty bad now that I'm seeing it here, but not too bad. Obviously in areas where we would come to expect, that's a good amount of dust that's just caked up on in there where kind of the main front panel was pulling in air. A little bit here on that fan, a little bit here down the power supply, but most part the system is actually pretty clean. So let's see how well we can get this cleaned up. And I think for the fans, I'm going to try to use the sucking attachment for now and see how well that gets that cleaned up. Might have to resort to blowing it out. Alrighty, so I got kind of one fan cleaned up. It's not super easy to get this attachment into the fan. It's just a little too large and wide, and I wish this attachment actually being smaller and kind of more narrow, being a little bit easier to get in there, but this is actually the blowing attachment. So I left the bottom fan undusted, or unsucked, I guess you could say. So I did some sucking action on the top fan. I'm going to do some blowing action on the bottom fan and see if I can get things a little bit cleaner with the blowing attachment. So I think I'm just going to yellow and use the narrow tip for the blowing section of the device and see if I can get all that junk out of there better than it would be if I was trying to actually suck it out. So let's see what we got here. That sucker moved some serious air. You guys saw there with that plume that came out, tons of dust. I think I'm gonna finish off cleaning the whole system out with the blower, because I think it's gonna get into these nooks and crannies a lot better, especially like up through here in that kind of ledge area where I cannot get this attachment in there at all, and through this tiny little hard drive fan I have up there, which obviously is going to be very difficult to clean out unless I'm just full force just blowing stuff out of there. So let's get this system nice and cleaned up. Well, it looks like it doesn't really want to stay on anymore. I've been using the out-of-the-box battery charge and it's shutting off on me real quickly. So either that or, nah, it's not real warm to it. So it's not overheating or anything like that. But I'd say I've got the system pretty well cleaned out. Obviously, I did not want to do it this way as far as blowing dust around my studio. Now, I could have not done such a thorough job and used some of the just suction attachments that I would use to just kind of clean things up a little bit. But the server is looking way cleaner than it was before. Now I've just got a lot of dust accumulating in the air around my studio, but I guess that's where it came from. So I just returned the dust to where it came from as the server sucked it up. So, alrighty guys, so final thoughts of this little duster. This sucker has got some serious power. I definitely am going to be using this time and time again, especially for just quick cleanups. And that's kind of what I would really suggest this to be for, is doing some quick cleanups on your PCs and stuff. Don't let it get kicked up like I did, where you actually have to end up using the blowing attachment and blowing dust around your room. If you do have to do that, this can get the job done, but I'd probably go do it in like a garage or a more well-ventilated area. And as we can see, it cleaned up the server pretty well. I'd say it's at about 90% here, and I'm just gonna put the panel back on and turn it back on and get it back to work. However, for the product itself too, as we can see, we definitely have a lot of different attachments, which is very handy for cleaning, for sucking and blowing. And I like the idea that it also came with that attachment where you can put a nozzle on the end and blow up like an air mattress, which is really cool. And I think actually what I want to do is use this in my car next to clean out the crevice areas of the dashboard and etc., because this is a perfect tool for that, I think. Though there's two things I probably say that I don't quite like, though it's not a game changer for me, is the fact that I have to like hold the button down to actually turn it on. Like someone might think it's like busted, considering that you just push the button once and it turns on a light like so, but if you push the button once for the fan, it does nothing. You have to actually hold it down to turn it on. So just something to know. Maybe it's in the directions that I didn't read, obviously, as you guys saw. But then another thing is when you're doing dusting, you've got it facing this direction and the buttons are right here. And several times I accidentally pushed it with my thumb or the crevice of my hand and turned the thing off. So oops on that. Probably would be better maybe to have the buttons like say on top or below or wherever, where your hand isn't gonna contact it as much. But overall, a great product. I'll put a link to this product in my description below that you guys can check out and pick up. These things are pretty handy and I definitely recommend it. It definitely did exactly what I wanted to do, and I've got some other things to go try it out on. So thanks for tuning into this one, guys. I appreciate your time. I'll catch you in the next one.